morning, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream today. Ron Nicoletti along with Acacia Courtney. And there you see our traditional showing of the main track and the turf course in this beautiful South Florida weather here. And we got a fast main track, firm turf course. For some reason, I've lost my voice for the first minute of the show. I'm sure I'll get it back in just a couple of seconds. Acacia, I promised you I wouldn't screw it up. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, Ron. For anybody wondering why it makes us laugh so much on this holiday a couple years ago, Ron said Happy Halloween to everybody on this holiday.
Yeah, I've done it about more than a couple of times, and not on purpose either. So we'll see. Just another nice day today in South Florida. Fast main track, firm turf course. What a day yesterday with the mandatory payout in the Rainbow Six.
That's right. It was pretty spectacular. Congratulations if you hit 6 out of 6. It was bombs away in the first leg. Some big prices throughout, too. But we'll start anew today. $200,000 is the guaranteed pool for today's Rainbow Six sequence. It starts in race number 6.
Race number 6 this afternoon. So we are seeding it right away with $200,000. Probably in 3 days it'll be $2 million if you don't take it down today, but you got that chance to do it. With that said, we are ready to look at today's card. We have a couple of pick fives with an 11 race card. No middle pick four, but we will have that next Saturday. So make sure, that you pay attention as the week progresses and do the handicapping for that ever popular middle pick four. But today, 2 pick fours, 2 pick fives. Let's see your ticket.
And we start off with the early pick 5 right here to kick things off. I have a $36 play, no singles. I had a little bit of a tough time. We kick things off with a nice race for the fillies on the turf. This maiden special weight. I've got 3 horses, could even go deeper there. Unfortunately, bit by the scratch bug in race number 2, but I think I have the 2 logical ones. First-time starter Party Swagger and Emuna on the drop-in class. In the 3rd race, I've got 3 horses. 4th race, maiden claiming using Baby Lion and Carrick, and then wrapping up with Macho Blue and Lontano. Key scratch of a head of plan out of that 5th race, but I do still think those are the logical couple for a $36 play.
$36 play, and you're absolutely right. Nice way to start the card off with this maiden special weight race for fillies going a mile in the 16th on the grass, and both of us have the number 4 Tracy Flick on top of our ticket, who's really a beautiful bred daughter of Warfront debuting. Who has been hotter over the last couple of days has been Shug McGay. He's won off a 2-year layoff, a 1-year layoff. Now he's going to win with a first-time starter.
And we've seen Shug be just really strong throughout this winter meet. And he always has horses that run well down here in the winter. But I think he and Jose Ortiz in particular teaming up to have a lot of success together. 3-win day yesterday for Jose Ortiz as well. This is a filly by Warfront out of a mare who was Group 3 placed in Europe, so there's plenty of quality for these Joe Allen homebred. And Tracy Flick, I learned on Twitter today, a character from the movie Election, who's played by Reese Witherspoon in there.
Reese Witherspoon, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, well, I didn't see that movie. I probably did and don't remember it.
That sounds more like it.
Yeah, but there's a lot of different ways to go in here. You have the 3 horse in here, another first-time starter, in second, the Flying Pharaoh.
Yeah, this one, a filly by American Pharaoh, has been training on the turf course up at Payson Park. I had a tough time with this race, actually. I used first-time starters in the first 2. I ended up fading the 2 Todd Pletcher runners. I thought A Thing of Beauty has a big pedigree. She was a big price in her debut, and I just didn't prefer the performance. I think that she's one I wanted to see some improvement from.
Yeah, she's Todd, the daughter of Bernadine. He's really got to train it well up there at Palm Beach Downs. We'll see if she improves along with Piccadilly Line, who's another from Todd, a daughter of Air Force Blue by Warfront, so debuts with Lasix and leading rider Arad Ortiz Jr. As you mentioned when you were putting your ticket together, we got bit by the scratch bug again in race number 2 today. We've got a 4-horse field, 6 furlongs, a maiden claimers, 3-year-olds, 50 down to $40,000. You can go 6-5, 5-6 here. I think those are the logical 2.
I think so too. Emuna dropping in class for the first time showed improved speed last time out. I took a first-time starter exaggerator filly for Brian Lynch. Paco Lopez aboard is half to graded stakes place Rock Candy, who is a pretty good dirt sprinter.
Nice turf race for race number 3, 5 furlongs turf. It's an allowance, starter allowance 4 and up. We started for 35,000 or less. 7 in the field in here. I'll start it off with the number 7, Montagny, who's going back to the turf after highlighting, I think, his versatility with that driving score against those 35 two lifetime claimers. That was going 5 on the main track for Kelly Breen. Claimed him a couple of starts back. Got Paco handling this gelded son of Byron. So I just thought that this horse, just the fact that he ran so well, I'm going to put him on top.
No, you're absolutely right. It was unfortunate the race came off the turf last time, but he had actually crossed the wire first in a dirt race at Churchill Downs, so he was DQ'd back in November. So he had some dirt form, and I'm surprised off of that he wasn't favored that day. But back on the turf today, where he did win a couple starts back, I took a little bit of a shot with the 4 Scotty Brown, who'd been showing speed going longer up in New York and moving down to Florida. And in Jane Sibeli's barn, they cut him back to sprinting last time, and I thought he ran very, very well. He's going to be a little bit of a price today, and I thought that with the presence of Weekend Dreamer in here, maybe even Montigny, who's not slow early on, this guy could get a very good trip as he settled nicely last time when turning back to that sprint distance.
Well, one thing we noticed yesterday, that speed was pretty good on the turf course here. And you got number 3, Weekend Dreamer, who used the speed to defeat the horse I put on top, Montagny, a few starts back. Going to try and do it again today. Showed his speed last time out. MSCL Jaramillo, you pointed this out yesterday too. MSCL Jaramillo, if you let him get on the lead on the turf course, you're going to have a tough time reeling him in.
Well, it just seems like, in general, on this turf course, horses that, even if they set a pretty quick pace on the front end, it seems to carry down through the wire. So having speed is always an advantage, particularly here at Gulfstream. But it seems that MSCL Jaramillo has really figured out how the turf course is playing, and that's what he did at the start of the Rainbow Six yesterday.
Yeah, so we have a pretty nice race, a couple of different ways to go. You want a little bit of a hunch play, maybe go with Hard Red Candy on Valentine's Day.
There you go.
4th race, I had to think a minute. 4th race this afternoon.
I'm a little mad you didn't wear the tie with the kisses on it.
Well, I got so much grief from the guys in the office, I figured I would give it a break. I usually one with big red kisses on it, but it's this wide. It's like from 1928. I don't know where I got the tie. So, 4th race, we're back on the fast main track.
Were you alive in 1928?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
That was my second year of high school. 4th race, 1 mile, maiden claimers, fillies, 3-year-olds, $12,500. No scratches in this one. Full field of 8 runners in here. We both went with the 6, Baby Lion, on top of our ticket.
This is just plain and simple. This filly ran well last time, which is not something everybody in this field or pretty much anybody else can say. She ran a good second last time out for Tammy Levy and Victor LeBron. You have the number 7, Carrick, who did show some speed, does go back to the dirt today.
Yeah, and 3 Brody's Honor. I mean, he's a logical 3 up there. Second at this level and distance. A couple of starts back. Drop, stretches out for Jose D'Angelo. And come up empty last time out. I think it was way over its head last time. It looks like a good spot for that horse. And that's the try, basically boxed around with the Baby Lion right on top of the ticket. Back on the turf for race number 5 this afternoon. 5 furlongs, turf allowance, optional claimer for state bred 4 and up. They run for that optional claiming price of $16,000. As you mentioned, scratched this ahead of plan, 2-1. I thought that horse would be part of the pace today. This horse, Lontano, that you have on top of your ticket, let's go back, and it really doesn't show you much, but I wanted to go back because it was a stakes race up at Woodmine. And you'll see the horse here coming out, just breaks slowly. There you see number 1, just, not with the pack, so you got to deal with that early on. It's not that the horse was way back, but you sort of had to get positioned. And when this horse turned for home, now the winner of that race, there you see turning for home, the winner of that race was 7-5 favorite Luke Francatelli. He wasn't going to do it, but I like the way this horse fought on 4 seconds, so it wasn't going to beat the winner, but was pretty brave through the stretch not to let the other horse pick him. And as I mentioned, it was a stakes race, so you would think this horse would run well here.
And if you just look at the turf sprints that this horse has run so far, he's been very good. A win, second on debut, and then last time second in stakes company. If you cross out the mile try and the Tapeta try, his turf sprints have been very solid. Did find a stat as well for the barn. This is trainer Brendan Walsh, first after the trainer switch on the turf, 22% win, 46% of the time in the money, and a big ROI of 316 as well. So obviously coming from a good barn with Mark Cassie, moving to another one, and you do have a Red Ortiz aboard. And I think with the head of plan out, I was hoping he could kind of maybe sneak this one by a little bit. I think he's going to be a very short price now.
Yeah, well, I went with a little different way, changed it around with the scratch of that ahead of plan. I went with Henry's World, who's dropping to the 16 level today with that so important quality speed. Kathleen Paco, I'm just seeing this horse going on the engine today, and I think that if they catch him, it'll be caught probably by Latano or Macho Blue and Station Rock. Both of those like to come from off the pace.
Yeah, Macho Blue ran very well last time. In fact, he hasn't done anything wrong recently since coming back in December of 2019. His races both here in Florida, even actually in general, he seems to run best here in South Florida. Now he's with Carlos Perez, making the first start for this barn off the claim.
Yeah, and Station Rock, too, who you have in third. I have in fourth. Solid and defeated, closed from eighth and last. Finished that neck behind Macho Blue last time out. Speed play for me, but I think Lontano is someone we're going to both want to see run here in South Florida. So with that, we'll take that short break, come back. Rainbow Six time starts in race number 6.
And they're off. Second in the two path. Round off first inside. Race. A quarter of a mile to go, and he's 6 on top. Last of the 12 as they roll into the backstretch.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today, and it is afternoon, so I will say good afternoon, just a couple of minutes after noon. And as we mentioned at the top of the show, great day yesterday with the mandatory payout in the Rainbow Six. I think it paid like $17,000 for a single ticket, so we had lots to give away. They bet $5 million or $6 million in new money into it. But today we're starting anew with $200,000, and I got a $38.40 ticket in there. If it's not 43.20,
He doesn't know if it's not 43.20.
Exactly. I got my long shot to kick off race number 6. It's the 2 Ghost Lore Monster Key race. You knew I would go there, and I got some coverage in race 10. That's the one that confused me today. 4 deep. I just keep going back to that horse that got in off the also eligibles, the 14. Didn't want to leave that one off the ticket. And then last, my best bet actually is Cadencia. It's 5 horse. I thought ran really well, but I also used the one from Billy Mott, Always Late.
I like it. I've got my long shot in the nightcap. I agree. Those are the 2 top ones. Going to try to beat them with a 20-1 shot.
I'm liking that.
Yeah.
So let me tell you about Ghost Lord. This is one of my favorite angles if you follow my analysis anywhere. Debuting locally for Ian Wilkes and making his first start since finishing third in front of a quartet. That's 4. Next out winners going to mile at Church. Julian Leperoux is going to ride today. I had to go there. I just love that angle. We'll see if we get a price with this horse. Ian Wilkes, the barn starting to wake up. Julian Leperoux. So take a shot with number 2, Ghost Lore.
I like it. 12-1 on the morning line, and freshened up, and you're absolutely right. Ian Wilkes had a maiden in that 7th race yesterday, and Group Hug that ran very well and took some money, too. I think this is a very interesting race. I took a shot with the 5 Growl Tiger for Arnaud Delacour, who a rare ship-in horse to come run here at Gulfstream for Arnaud, who's been in the top in the trainer standings up at Tampa. The blinkers come on for this one. Going back to the dirt and to go a mile. In the one dirt try up at Aqueduct, I didn't see this horse that day, unfortunately. It already headed down to Florida, but got an 80 buyer speed figure in the debut. I know it was sprinting, but this one I think should be suited for the dirt. I'm very intrigued by him shipping in, and with the blinkers on, I think we're going to see some speed.
Yeah, and he's a real nice 5-1 on the board, so we'll see how that plays out. And then we both have interest in the number 3 Bold Agenda, who should be primed and ready to fire that winning effort today after the solid career debut at this level and distance for Todd. That is Mr. Pletcher, who's solid with maidens making their second start. And he's got Irad penciled in for the return riding assignment today. So looks like a logical contender.
You also have 2 from Chad Brown. You have the 6 Bay Street Money, who's a trainer change and going to be trying the dirt for the first time. And then you have a first-time starter by Curlin in Winter Pool, who is half to a European horse whose name I love, Burger and Fries.
Burger and Fries. Well, that's a good name there.
Yeah.
Now, Bay Street Money, what a weird thing. Just run so well on the turf to try it on the main track. Hit the board in 3 of 6 route races on the turf. We'll see how that horse runs. Tyler Gaffleon will be in the saddle today. Going to race number 7, 6 furlongs, claim is 4 and up. Kicks off our final pick 5. Let's take a gander at your ticket.
Take a gander. Ooh. Well, we start off here. I think the 3 I Kick In, who I nearly singled off the claim for Victor Barbosa, is the one to beat. But Bobby DeBona got us in the first race yesterday. Had to use him, picking up Paco Lopez with the 7 Rack Gin. 8th race, I'm 3 deep in there. I think that's a competitive one. In race number 9, I've got 2 horses in Shady Lee and Cat's a Dream, who could be in a good spot on the drop-in class. I'm just 2 deep in the 10th. That's a really nice race, as you mentioned. I think it was either use 2 horses or spread there in the 10th race. So I ended up paring it down, but that one makes me a bit nervous. But wanted to use 3 horses, the 2 logical that you mentioned, and the 3 Great Warrior, Philly by Warfront off the layoff for Mark Cassie, my 20-1 morning line long shot.
Like those long shots in there. No, this 7th race, I agree with you. I think I Kicking is certainly the one to beat. Goes to Victor's Barn after the claim. It immediately drops to this level after finishing 3rd against 12-5 claimers. A little shaky call on the drop today, but I think it's sort of a lateral move.
I think it is too, to be honest. And I did find a stat for the barn. Victor Barbosa over the past 5 years. First off the claim on the dirt with horses that finished in the money last time out. He has unreal numbers. Nearly 50% win and 85% of the time in the money. And it's still a positive ROI. Given the fact that Irad Ortiz is aboard, and I know it's a drop from the 12.5 to the 62.50, but I think it's lateral. And yeah, I just thought this one could be in a really good spot, especially after I saw that stat.
Well, here's another good stat. I didn't post it, but we'll tell you about it. And that's Deal Forte goes to the Carlos David barn after the claim stretches out to 3/4. Stalk the pace, finished 4th. The barn is 46% with new claims. Angel Arroyo in the saddle. So lots of numbers we're throwing at you in there. And I agree with you, but I still think I Kicking is the one to beat.
I think so too. As we mentioned, Rack Gin off a bit of a layoff, picking up Paco Lopez, and I also included the 4 Yes for Less, who ran fine last time out.
Yeah, one other horse I just wanted to mention is Anano Estrella, who's stepping up to face winners. Really impressive, beating those 12-5 maidens, Joe Orsino, Victor LeBron. These horses, I try and use them all the time. They run well. They win by 12 lengths. They come back. They don't run too well.
Can they repeat it is the biggest question.
That's it. 8th race today, as you mentioned, really nice race today. Mile on the turf, claim is fillies and mares. 4 and up, non-winners of 2, 35,000 down to 25,000. Non-winners in 2 and life, but this is a tough group of horses. We both started it off with Come Storming, excuse me. So let's go back and just revisit this horse's last race. You're going to see this horse coming into the final turn. The 2, Kelly Can Run, is also in this race here. Just wanted to point that out. It was right behind him, but this horse coming strong. Just Come Storm, just nowhere really to run, looking for some place to, just run. He seems like he's got the horse to make the move, and he's just finally he's going to have to dip out to the outside when he turns for home. And I just thought he ran well. I just thought if he had found a seam, you could see he's maybe 6 wide here. If he would have found that seam, I thought he would have run better. He came close to finish 2nd. He finishes actually a neck in front of, as I mentioned, Kelly Can Run, who will be in this race this afternoon. I think he had the worst of it in that race.
No, absolutely. I thought that she ran very well, finishing by 3/4 of a length last time out and the first time down here in Florida. This will be the 3rd time with the Mike Maker barn. Candy Flower, who was a bit of a price in there, I actually thought was actually a major player. So I think it's a salty field that she does come out of. Come Storming. Kelly Can Run also makes sense. But unfortunately, Kelly Can Run, who I've just tried so many times, seems to always kind of run the same race. But that was one of her better performances. I think the outside runners are both interesting. Rosa Star, who's been facing some good company, mostly a speed play, though she's not a winning type. And Sylvanella second off the layoff with the big drop in class.
Yeah, she was really impressive. Use her speed to break a maiden here last March. Coming back for Christoph, Tyler Gaffalione handling the drop down. Didn't fare that well up at Tampa, but I think this is a real nice spot. As we mentioned, non-winners of 2 in life. So we expect an improvement from that horse. In race number 9, 6 furlongs, claimers, fillies and mares, 4 and up, non-winners of 2 in life. 35 down to $25,000. And I went, and you did. We'll start with you with number 5, Cat's a Dream.
Yeah, this one debuted sprinting and won first time out, though on a wet track. Stepped it up last time and also stretching out to the mile. I think the turn back in distance should suit. I also think more than anything, the big drop in class down, or not a big drop, but a significant enough drop in class down to the 35,000. Non-winners of 2 should put her in a good spot, and clearly she prefers sprinting.
Yeah, I used Twirling Faith in second, who's debuting locally and breaking from the rails. Showed some speed, got caught late when facing 40 optional claimers on the Tapeta surface up at Woodbine for Josie Carroll. Paco, inside speed threat, just tried to throw him on the ticket.
Yeah, this the number 2, Shady Lee, I think is pretty intriguing as she won first time out for Todd Pletcher. Was claimed for $75,000 at Saratoga by Mike Maker. Went right into trying the Grade 2 Pocahontas, and she hasn't been able to kind of get the wheels back on since that debut. But I think that this spot could be a good place for her. Again, Jose Ortiz had a good day yesterday.
And one other horse I'd like to touch on, probably named after you, Super Cat Lady. She loves her cats. Is debuting locally for Mike Trumbetter after ending a campaign at Churchill. A couple of solid sprints in the slop. Daughter Super Saver. She was good in those 2 races. Let's see how she runs on the fast track this afternoon. So race number 9 looks like Cat's a Dream is the one to beat, at least as far as occasion, I think. In the 10th race today, 1 mile, 1/16th on the turf, allowance optional claimer, fillies and mares, 4 and up. The optional claiming price of $25,000. Scratch the 6, 13, 15, 16. Please note that 14 gets in. I think this horse has a shot to run well in here.
Yeah, this is a tough race. It's clearly it's shown by our selections right here. As we're kind of all over the place. It's funny, though. You went for one Brian Lynch runner in Ella Brilla. I went for the other Brian Lynch runner in the 5, Osaka Girl. Speed play for me with that filly by First Samurai with Jose Ortiz aboard. Finished second last time out at a comparable level.
The horse we both have in second is the one Linny Kate, who's making a 4-year-old debut. After a brief 2-race sophomore campaign, she broke her maiden on the grass here at Furs Gasking, and then she returned from a layoff. We're going to go back and show you this race early on up at Belmont, and she just has to, well, we had it there it is. She had to steady a couple of times early on during the race and just see her, she comes back. She just looks like she's a little rank in there, and it's hard to see her behind her. She'll steady again. And I just thought that, she was moving very nicely. We're going to switch it then. She's going to go to the top of the lane where she has to go out and close. And she closes pretty good to be third, beating 3/4 of the length. There you see her. She's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wide as she turns for home after sort of having that little bit of trouble in the beginning. But she comes on, and, it is Chad Brown, so you're expecting this horse to run good off the bench. He's pretty good with this layoff of 180 days. And you see Linny Kate just keeps coming, as I mentioned, after that little bit of trouble early on in the wide move, so I thought it was a good performance. Wanted to backtrack and show you that.
Yeah, I didn't think she was traveling very well early on. I thought that she actually looked very headstrong, uncomfortable sometimes, especially fillies off of a layoff, and it looked like that was the key for her. She was a bit fresh, and you could even see her almost kind of stutter step a little bit where Javier Castellano went forward over her neck a bit early on in the race. So once they kind of straightened her out, she got in, it lugged in a little bit there in the stretch when closing, but she finished up fine and closing pretty well. She's only had 2 races so far. One was a win, and then we had that 3/4 of a length defeat. Seems like she's been a tough filly to keep on the racetrack, but glad to see her back and interested to see what she has to offer today.
And we both have the 11 Mimina's Dream now in the Jose D'Angelo barn on our tickets.
Yeah, this one, who came off of a layoff last time, ran behind Kissing Frog, so I think is very talented for Bill Mott.
That's the horse I like the name of, Kissing
Yes,
Frogs.
that's a good one.
I wanted to mention just the 14. Just go back when you handicap and putting your tickets together. Look at it, enjoy it while you can. Well, enjoy the races too, but that's the name of the horse. Not beaten badly, and who is it? Mike Maker, Tyler Gaffalione. I think you give that horse a serious second look. Got to deal with that outside post, but.
Yeah, that one was going 1.7 last time out, beaten by Cristal to finish second. But I agree. I kind of left my picks just how they were, but I think that she is a major player and one you have to take a second look at.
Well, the final race today, race 11, we're going to go quickly a mile into 16th on the turf. Want to go back and talk about the number 5, Cadencia, stretching out to the mile into 16th. Getting Lasix today, just going to pick her up at the top of the stretch, and you'll see her coming down. I think she runs very well in this. She's the number 10. She's going to split horses momentarily and just close to be nice. Thought it was a really good performance with Irad atop this sort of Mishower. So I just think there she comes flying down. I just thought it was a good performance. Just ran out of real estate.
Yeah, she and Candace O both ran very, very well that day. I agree she's a major player in this spot, as is the one always late for Belmont, who was beaten just by 3 lengths last time out. Again, I've got my long shot in here, though. I'm going with the 3, Great Warrior, who ran in one of those early 2-year-old races back in May. Was taken off the turf here at Gulfstream. My comments that day were that she needed to kind of fill out, but she wanted to run on the turf. So didn't get to see her after that. She was on the shelf, so this is just her second start, but she gets to try the grass today. Billy by Warfront out of a Group 3 winning mare over in Ireland.
Yeah, I was just looking. She's working exceptionally well up there at Palmetto. So I'm going to take a second look at that. Let's quickly go to the lightning round this afternoon, Miss Acacia Courtney.
And it will be a lightning round. We'll go through quickly. A lot of it is recapping what happened yesterday. We had the 2 sprint stakes here at Gulfstream Park, and Mischievous Alex, much the best in the Grade 3 Gulfstream Park Sprint.
Yeah, very nice comeback for this horse. I had second race here in South Florida. It's just been so incredible since moving to the Safi Joseph Jr. barn.
And Safi saying either the Carter or the Dubai Golden Shaheen will be next on the schedule for Mischievous Alex. So best of luck to them. As Leinster, the other favorite, the favorites were Supreme, but this one coming out of the Breeders' Cup, kicking off his 2021 campaign, had to gut it out there in the Gulfstream Park Turf Sprint.
Yeah, I think he's going to move way up off this performance last time. Had to work for it, but got it done. A very nice performance. Nice comeback. Hadn't run in a while, as you mentioned, since the Breeders' Cup.
His class really showed there over High Crime. He ran very well in defeat, too. We also saw, and we mentioned it a couple times, but Amisael Jaramillo loose on the lead there to kick off the Rainbow Six. Boreas at 30-1. First turf winner for his sire, Upstart.
Yeah, he just went to the lead, and that was it. Was over, but Upstart, a good sire, and gets his first turf winner with race number 7.
And I think there were several behind in that race, too, that you want to watch moving forward. Good races. We take a little trip over to the fairgrounds and recap some of the races that happened there on the calendar. Thought this was a nice story, Ron. Al Stahl Jr. and his trainee, Dalica, win the Albert M. Stahl Memorial Stakes at the fairgrounds.
Yeah, I went back and looked. He wins it with this German-bred. I mean, it's so great when you can win the memorial of your dad. So that's great. So there he is winning it. And congratulations to the Stalls.
Absolutely. Al Stahl, I always enjoy speaking to him at the race. He's one of the nicest guys you'll meet around the racetrack. Is also at the fairgrounds in the Grade 3 Mine Shaft. Has not had the easiest career as of yet, but Maxfield stays undefeated.
Yeah, really nice run from him. So Maxfield stays undefeated for our buddy Brendan Walsh. Comes back and wins that race rather handily. 99 buyer in that race, I believe.
And looks like the Dubai World Cup could potentially still be on the table for Maxfield, who is still lightly raced but has been impressive. As we look ahead to Wednesday, Javier Castellano's back.
Yeah, he's in the entries on Wednesday. He's had some a little operation on his hip. He's ready to come back, and we miss Javier here. He's one of our stalwarts here during the winter campaign.
He absolutely is, Hall of Famer. So take note of that. He'll be back riding in the entries on Wednesday, as Ron mentioned. But tomorrow, it's President's Day. We're not racing here at Gulfstream, but our sister track, Laurel Park, certainly is.
Yeah, 12:25 p.m. They got a 9-race card, so make sure you join them. They've been dodging some bad weather up there, but they'll be back full force on Monday.
That's right. Make sure you tune in. Support Laurel Park. They've got a great card scheduled for tomorrow, as it is Ron's favorite holiday. So we had to end with the cute foal of the day from the Ramsey Farm. How about that?
Look at that heart. That's the perfect horse. Oh, that is fantastic. That one wins the blaze of the week.
Princess Anna Julia, her first foal over there at Ramsey Farm. Absolutely adorable with the heart for what holiday, Ron?
Valentine's.
Valentine's
I
Day.
almost said it.
And a very happy Valentine's Day to all of you as we send it up to track announcer Pete Aiello. Let's get out of here now. Here's Pete.